So apparently in Canada, there's a new federal holiday, Truth and Reconciliation Day. All of this was spurned by the mass graves that were found around these residential schools, okay? Again, we haven't necessarily had confirmed body counts. All we've had is just tests that the land has been disturbed and there's shit in the ground, but it's like, okay, have you confirmed any of that? No, we're just going to be burning down churches. So... okay, I guess we're supposed to pause and reflect and have a solemn dialogue with the way that Canada has treated natives. It's like, okay, well, if you actually wanted to do that, maybe you'd address the mess that is the fucking reserve system, but you don't want to do that. You just want to take a fucking trip and go somewhere. Maybe that's why Trudeau gave it a fucking national holiday, September 30th, brand new fucking federal holiday. I guess it's just the most inexpensive day to travel. Like, is that what we're doing here? Trudeau goes to the beach on Truth and Reconciliation Day, and guess who's covering it? Nobody in the mainstream media. Of course not. No. There's a couple of headlines on CBC or CTV News, all of the federal government's mouthpieces, but it's all, Indigenous leaders are disappointed in Trudeau. Click here to see why. Not telling you that he went and fucking jetted out when he said that everybody should take a moment and pause. Go fuck yourself. God. And we're only, like a month out from the election? Yeah, sure, yeah. I'm so glad the Greater Toronto Area decided that this guy should be our Prime Minister for the whole fucking country. Why did anyone in the parliamentary press gallery... Words are hard today. Jesus fucking Christ. A report on Trudeau skipping town to go to the beach on a solemn day that Trudeau spends so much time virtue signaling about. Trudeau is a hypocrite, yep, but the legacy media is complicit in protecting him. It's true fucking facts, guys. Absolute true facts. And, okay, once this story, because, yeah, this was September 30th. It's the 2nd today. So, eventually, some questions had to be asked to some of the people that are in the Trudeau cabinet. And his health minister, well, I don't know, just kind of mumble-fucked her way through an explanation. Health Minister Patty Hajud. Strange name for a waspy lady, huh? Was asked to defend Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's actions on Friday after the Prime Minister traveled to British Columbia. Okay, his riding is in Quebec. He spends most of his time in Ottawa, so he decided to fly to BC. Okay, cool. After the Prime Minister, yes, traveled to British Columbia with his family on Canada's first ever National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. It's like, okay, I don't think anybody really noticed what was going on. Maybe it was a day off. I don't fucking know. It was found that Trudeau not only visited the famed surf town. Yeah, he went surfing on a day that it's supposed to be very solemn and reflectory. Reflectory? Is that a word? I don't fucking know. It's supposed to be a moment of thought. Something that Trudeau can't do unless it's scripted for him. But that he actively declined an invitation by Kamloops area First Nations, okay? With 215 bodies of Indigenous children were discovered in May. No. Mass graves were found, but okay, again, everything surrounding that is too hot and I don't need my fucking house burnt down, okay? Hajud, who herself attended ceremonial events for First Nations peoples. Oh, okay, cool. She's the good ally. Could not clearly answer why Trudeau did so. Prime Minister did, in fact, attend that... Okay, that creepy girl needs to stop. Attend a ceremony for the launch of the new statutory holiday on Wednesday in Ottawa, which honors the Indigenous children who died. That's weird. You're honoring dead children? That's kind of weird. Shouldn't you be mourning the loss of innocent life? But whatever. While attending residential schools, survivors' families, and communities affected by the legacy of Canada's residential school system, which your Liberal government propped up. Okay, cool. Trudeau's itinerary for the next day, however, showed that he would be in Ottawa for private meetings. Okay, yeah, so he had it written down. Oh, we're going to have closed-door meetings. And by that, collect your surf gear and head on out to BC for a minute, because it's probably like the last weekend before we can do anything, because Thanksgiving's, I think, next weekend for Canada. Not entirely sure. Don't like to have the big dinners anyway, so it's probably just going to be a day where I'll spend a little bit of time with my folks. Other than that, it's not that much. But yeah, Trudeau, he probably has plans somewhere else, and where he's going to have a big guest list. So yeah, it really doesn't much matter. We'll have something else to report on tomorrow or next week. Jesus fucking Christ. You guys remember this guy? Steven Guilbeault. Oh, I want to censor the internet. He is fucking dickhead. He defends Trudeau after Tofino vacation. Sorry. Of course he would. Of course he would. Heritage Minister Guilbeault defended Prime Minister Justin Trudeau after going on vacation to Tofino during the National Truth and Reconciliation. It sounds like it's straight out of Orwell. Whatever. Speaking to CBC on Friday. Yeah, of course he's got to get his fucking paid advertisement time. Guilbeault argued reconciliation is one of the most important issues to Justin Trudeau. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau began his mandate with another controversy, as his website said he was in Ottawa Thursday for private meetings. So what is that, like 5? Are we at a full handful yet? Since he became Prime Minister in 2015? That's cool. However, he was later spotted in Tofino, BC, spending a few days with his family. Minister on the political question, as you were part of its March Today reconciliation march, the Prime Minister was on board his plane going to Tofino, British Columbia, where we learned today he is going to spend some time with family, said the CBC host. His schedule originally said that he was going to be in private meetings, and his spokesperson says he's meeting with residential school survivors or speaking to them. I don't know, are they going to be the ones who are making sure that his surfboard is waxed? Or is he going to give the guy who fills up his tank a nice pat on the back? Do you know how he's speaking with them when he's on his plane flying to Tofino, where he's taking a vacation with his family? Oh wow, the CBC actually pushing back, not against Trudeau directly, because they wouldn't have the balls to do that, but let's see the answer here. I don't have any details of the Prime Minister's scheduled for today. No, it's publicly available and you can see it, but okay. What I can tell you is that I was with him last night. I think what stays between the sheets is supposed to, stay there. For an event in Ottawa on Parliament Day. That's not the day of reconciliation, but okay, cool. Where we did meet with survivors, with Indigenous leaders. One could argue that the reconciliation is certainly one of the most important issues for him. Okay, cool. He didn't address the question. That's awesome. And I'm sure that they just probably went, oh, well, we're all out of time. We got to hit our spots. Yeah, fuck off. Again, this one's going to get swept under the rug. So yeah, let's just go through the Trudeau scandals here nice and succinctly, right? You got a vacation paid for to a private island. Okay. You had SNC Lavalin. You had all the blackface pictures that continue to still come out somehow. The We Charity scandal, okay? And then you had his defense minister, who he covered for, fucking up the Air Force. And now you have him jetting across the country in the middle of a pandemic that he keeps trying to tell us is so fucking goddamn important. But don't worry, there's going to be that'll be the end of the criticism for Justin Trudeau. Not because there isn't things to criticize, it's just because it's going to be taken offline because, hey, Trudeau's Liberals to push internet regulation in the first 100 days of their mandate. And you should see some of the language that they're trying to use, and you can go ahead and try to figure out what the fuck he actually means. The Trudeau Liberals intend to censor the internet this fall through 2 pieces of legislation within the first 100 days of their new mandate. Parliamentary debate is expected to raise questions of the role of the government regulating the online behavior of Canadians. We've already been through this, and thankfully it got stopped by the Senate. Who knows if that's going to happen again, honestly, okay? Because it's not like not the media, it's not like the House of Commons changed any during the election. It was just a $600 million fucking, oh, okay, cool, everybody still thinks exactly the same way. Sweet. Bill C-10, an act to amend the Broadcasting Act, elapsed in the Senate Communications Committee in the previous Parliament. The bill proposed to have YouTube videos intended for private viewing regulated as public broadcasters by the CRTC. Ugh. The arts community strongly supports the legislation. Of course they do. But critics raised freedom of speech concerns. Opposition MPs amend Bill C-10, which is already fucking dead, and Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet called for it and other bills in the previous parliament to have further debate following concerns. The previous Liberal mandate accused the COVID pandemic to usurp parliamentary debate. Introduced on June 23rd, the last day before Parliament, before the summer recess, Bill C-36, an act to amend the criminal code. Cool. Threatens $70,000 fines or house arrest for any internet publisher, blogger, or social media user suspected of posting legal content promoting, get this one, okay, I don't even know what this means. I really don't know, okay? And it's probably written like that to be purposely misinterpreted. Detestation or vilification. That's just criticism, okay? Like if I say Justin Trudeau's had a terrible prime ministership due to its scandal-ridden nature, I technically am vilifying him for that. So would I get hit with $70,000? Well, guess what? Joke's on you. I don't have it. Did not receive any debate in Parliament. Through a midsummer consultation paper provided additional details on how Ottawa would regulate such content. The online harms bill and discussion paper proposed two new new federal regulators, a digital safety commissioner and a digital recourse council. Sweet. The legislation and discussion paper received little attention owing to the federal election. They just love to sneak that shit in. University of Ottawa professor Michael Geist raised several concerns about the online harms bill, condemning Heritage Minister Stephen Guilbeault before on said bills. Geist is the Canadian Research Chair for the Internet and Commerce Law, wrote, the proposed approach does not strike an appropriate balance between addressing online harms and safeguarding freedom of expression. Geist warned the online harms bill provides political cover for undemocratic regimes to invoke Canadian law to justify curbing freedoms of expression online. The government should be asking a simple question with respect to how many of its proposals would Canadians be comfortable with, and the same measures implemented in countries such as, you know what, the ones that he likes and respects. Trudeau, this is China, Saudi Arabia, and Iran. He loves them for their simple and basic dictatorship. He's such a sweet guy. But his friend in the House of Commons, Jagmeet Singh. Now we got to turn our attention over here to the wonderful little face-shaped province, Alberta. Okay, apparently it's going through a big struggle. I can't really tell outside, but okay, you guys just keep trying to push that narrative, I guess. Jagmeet Singh urges Trudeau and federal government to intercede in Alberta's healthcare debacle. Oh, it's gonna fail. Oh, the healthcare system. Oh, it's gonna collapse into absolute destruction. We got to take a look at the numbers again because, oh, are they not lining up once again? Imagine that. Despite acknowledging the fact that healthcare is a provincial jurisdiction. Yeah, that's why they're worried about the health and safety of Alberta Health Services. I think the clue's in the fucking name. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, after he was calling everybody racist, is pressuring the federal government to intervene in Alberta as situations grow dire. Yeah, he's gonna get his wish. Okay, not to my behest, and I don't want that at all. In a letter to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Minister of Health Patty Hajud, Jagmeet Singh, whose riding is in BC, and I think that there's one elected NDP member in the entire province, and most people just want him to fuck off, criticized Alberta Premier Jason Kenney's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. I do too, mostly because he cucked out his constituency. The situation in Alberta is dire. ICUs are on the verge of collapse. Jason Kenney has demonstrated a failure of leadership while ignoring the pleas of health experts. Oh my God, just continue to defer to the experts, okay? Have your fucking appeal to authority fallacy fucking vindicated further, you absolute retard. Don't look at any of the statistics, though. Of course not. Okay, so what are we dealing with here? Oh my God. Currently, you know what? We have 8,200 beds and 1,066 people are currently in hospital. Oh my God. 263 people are in the ICU. 2,700 people overall since fucking March of 2020 have died, and that sucks. Of a province of over 6 million people, we have 20,000 active cases, and of everybody who's been tested, 11.12% of people, okay, you can see it's kind of falling apart. Oh my God, those young spry people at an average age of 79 years old are dropping dead. 6 million jabs have been handed out. 83.8% of the population have already started the vaccination process. I'm not among them, and I won't be ever. If you push so hard for this, I will not concede. This is a form of protest at this point, okay? Let's be honest. I'm not wearing your stupid masks, and I'm not getting a fucking vaccine. You can go fuck yourself. 74.5% have been fully vaccinated so far, okay? And then I don't know what's going to happen next. They get their second jab in 2 weeks, and then that number comes back up, and then they just, I don't know, decide to magically fucking authorize a vaccine for the under 12s, and then suddenly those numbers plummet, and it's like, oh my god, only 60% of people have gotten jabbed up. You fucking creeps. Let's take a deeper look into the numbers, though. Why don't we? Okay? I think that would be fun, because all of those big scary numbers, it's like, oh my god, people are dying. And like a couple days ago, 31 people died in one day. My mouse is just having a fucking spurg out. I don't know what's worse today. My ability to enunciate or my fucking mouse's ability to, well, be an effective mouse. Total cases. Let's take, oh my god, look at all of that stuff. Oh, then it looks like most people are recovered. Cool, that's sweet. I mean, the entire province is locked down, and where are the new and active cases happening? Well, mostly in the two big cities in the entire fucking province. So, yeah, the North Zone where I'm up here at, we're in 4th place, but that's cool. Oh no, but cases reported between last week's business week, we're number 3. Oh my god, like a few 100,000 people to account for it, but that's cool. Here's the one thing I want to focus on. So these are the official Alberta numbers, right? So of all of the new cases that are out there, okay, new cases come from the bullet points. They're so nicely demarcated for us, and you don't need to look at the actual graph, of course. Since January 1st, 2021, 0.3% of people with one dose were diagnosed with COVID-19 14 days after the first immunization date. Okay, so the vaccines are effective, right? Since January 1st, 2025, 0.5% of people with 2 doses were diagnosed 14 days after their second immunization date. Okay, why are those numbers going up? That's weird. 15,000 raw people as opposed to 9,700. Okay, that's odd, but all right. Safe and effective, right? 87.6% of cases since January 1st, 2021 were unvaccinated or diagnosed within the 86 were oh, okay, cool. 86.5% of cases were unvaccinated within 2 weeks of their first immunization date. Oh, okay. Well, those were just hospitalized people. Okay, so you get a case. Okay, you have an 86.7%. If you're unvaccinated, those new cases, yeah, end up in the hospital. Oh, okay, okay. Those are the people that are there, right? 7,831 people of the 9,057 who have been admitted to hospital, they were unvaccinated. That's terrible. 78.9%, 944, of the 1,197 people who have dropped dead since January 1st were unvaccinated or diagnosed within 2 weeks of the first dose of the immunization date. So, safe and effective, right? Then how do you account for the 23% of new cases coming from complete? Okay, yeah, add them both together and you nearly have 30% of the new cases coming from vaccinated people, if not partially, completely. And when you're completely vaccinated, just because that 2-week period, that's a very, very short period of time. Why is it nearly a quarter of the new cases are coming from that? No, that's fine. What about, yeah, active cases? Yeah, as of right now, it's still that same mark at about 30% of people who have received at least one of the jabs. Those cases that are out there. Okay, and then active hospitalizations, right? We're on the brink of collapse, obviously. So again, those numbers look identical. Okay, the people who have been vaccinated, 1 or 2 jabs, a quarter of them are what's taking up the hospitals right now. So safe and effective. Okay, let's take a look at how sick these people actually are. Okay, average age for COVID cases that died is 79 years. Oh, okay, cool. Average age for COVID cases hospitalized with a ICU stay is 56. Okay, hospitalization 59. Oh, okay, cool. So if you're again apparently in a higher risk range, you're going to be more likely to be hospitalized. Okay, or average age to not be hospitalized is 34 years old. Oh, okay, cool. So what about the big scary numbers if you take a look at it in cases per 100? If you've been confirmed to have a case, 4% of people end up in the hospital. Cool. This is what we're locking down everything for. That's what we're installing vaccine passports over. ICU admissions under 1%. Okay, case fatality 0.9% of. Okay, not even 1% of cases. Awesome. See what happens when you take a look at the numbers? None of this shit fucking lines up. And as for my big collapse here, okay, take a look. Okay, ICU capacity. Okay. They don't have like the actual numbers there, but you can kind of figure it out. Okay, when did the ICU capacity peak? Okay, because everything in this purple right here, that's COVID occupied. Oh my God. It peaked. 78% of beds were filled with COVID patients on September 12th. And then it's dropped off since then. Okay, cool. Guess what? You still have a big number of fucking beds available. Okay, this is across the entire province. Okay, you have like 50 or so odd beds. Where are most of the people that are sick? Calgary and Edmonton specifically. Back to this, chart that we've seen a fair few amount of times. Okay, in intensive care, 263. Remember, it's like 70% full, but you know what? Hey, we're just on the brink of collapse. Sure, haven't been there before, right? Calgary zone, 91 people. Okay, it's a city of over 1 million. That makes sense. 115. Edmonton is smaller than Calgary, so what the fuck is going on in Calgary? Again, I encourage you guys to take a look at these numbers yourself, even in your own province. Okay, if you don't live in Alberta, that's fine. You're gonna have another breakdown like this for your own province just to see what the fuck all the fuss is about. You're gonna find something very similar. I will guarantee it. So what's happening in Alberta? Well, because we had the audacity to be opened, and then Jason Kenney decided to bend the knee. Well, he decided to take that knee and then shove it up his ass. And where this is it gives me like the chills, like the douche chills. That's for certain. Alberta's calling in the military. Okay, why exactly? Okay, I know the way that they're framing this, but the fact that they're calling in the military and we see what's going on in Australia, I'm saying I'm getting scared is not the correct terminology. Concerned. Okay, let's go with concerned. Alberta is calling for help from the feds to deal with the COVID-19 crisis hammering the province. I'll take your word for it. Alberta Municipal Affairs Minister Rick McIver made the request to Public Safety Minister Bill Blair on Tuesday. Alberta has been swamped by a fourth wave of COVID-19 and the Delta variant ICU hospital beds are filled to overflowing. And we just looked at the numbers. That's a lie. That's a fucking lie. And thousands of new cases are being reported every few days. Okay, you know what? Hey, we're just going to take a look at these variants because, again, there was these lovely breakdowns, and then they have their variants of concern here, and then they have their wonderful color-coded tests. Okay, so you got the pink, and that's my Delta variant, right? And then you have the blue, which is the UK variant, and weird. As soon as the Delta shows up, the UK goes away, and the peaks are more consistent and they're higher with the UK variant, and overall, like, we're looking at the similar time frame and it looks like everything's kind of going exactly the same as it did with the UK variant. So that's very interesting, isn't it? I don't know. I find it interesting, but then again, it's far more transmissible and far deadlier. I do, but more importantly, the people making the decisions and the people who are calling in the fucking military, they don't know that. They don't care to know that. McIver asked Blair for federal help in 2 areas to make sure everybody stays in their home. Is that what's coming next? Help with vaccinating patients to and from various hospitals and medically trained staff to be on board. Yeah, because you have that wonderful mandate and you're just going to fire anybody who doesn't get the vaccine, but we're in the middle of a crisis. Fuck you. Help with staffing in critical care areas such as intensive care nurses and respiratory therapists. You still have vacancies, okay? If Edmonton's fucking up, that's one thing. If Calgary's fucking up, that's another thing. But where are most of the hospitals located? In the high population areas. There are beds available. Stop trying to create and foment fear. In a tweet, Blair said federal officials have been working with Alberta health staff on what they can do. Federal officials have been engaging their counterparts in Alberta for the past week to offer help. I made it clear when the request was received it would be approved, and we will work together to provide with people across Alberta. Again, it affects what? How many people? 20,000 fucking active cases right now. It's never going to end. It's never going to fucking end. But people are starting to get fucking tired of this, okay? Because you have all of these astroturfed studies and polls that say, oh, an overwhelming majority of people appreciate the lockdown procedures. But then you take a look at what's going on in Calgary, and we don't need any sound for this, but we'll just go ahead and let the video play, because this is a very cute, very not insignificant amount of people in Calgary, in fucking Calgary. Restaurants and bars are requiring vaccine passports to sit on patios, so people are bringing their own food and having picnics on the street because they're tired of all of this shit. And I'm sure that those businesses and those restaurants that are opened, they're probably offering takeout services as well, so I hope they're doing well, and I can see these people here, man, okay? So you might see a mask or two, but all of these people are just fucking fed up because it's a beautiful fall day, and I'm sure that there are some people who watch this, and we could, if you wanted to, just have a little bit of cancer in your system. We could scroll through the comments and be like, oh, that's so irresponsible, and your healthcare is on the verge of collapse. No, man, we just looked at the numbers, and once again, shit doesn't fucking add up. Okay, you can continue to scare people by saying we're on the verge of collapse, but when shit doesn't make I can't believe they're still going down the fucking aisle. Anyways, I just continue to fucking drag on this speech, but none of the numbers fucking add up. Okay, it's I don't know what they're doing at this point. They're just trying to stoke fear. They're just trying to foment this controllable population, okay? They know that the low information people out there that just, oh, I heard this on the radio, or I heard this on the nightly news, therefore it has to be true, because I remember back in the day, Peter Mansbridge wouldn't lie to us, or Walter Cronkite, when we used to get the number 3 channel from the States that would come up here, and you'd just be able to access what they were saying, and the man with the nice clock in the background, he would definitely not lie to us. And it's like, they've been doing it forever. They know it works. And see, even they fucking astroturf all of this fucking Coof shit on the side. How long people with breakthrough COVID are contagious. Oh my god! A preprint study that overstated the risk of myocarditis following COVID-19 vaccinations was withdrawn. Reuters and lead stories reports. And COVID pills that we talked about yesterday, or I don't fucking remember at this point. Did a whole bunch of recording back to back to back. So we talked about those stupid ass pills. I'm sure idiots will be lining up to take, because they'll just do anything that the people who are in charge will say. I don't know, guys. Do your own research, because it looks like the people who are actually on the ground, not the retards who have fucking landlines and sit next to them. It's like, oh, I hope I get a political survey study here done today. All of those fucking hermits who double mask when they take showers. Done with their fear mongering. I'm so fucking fed up with all this stuff. I'm sure you guys are too, but there's other people out there who think like us, and that's a little bit of hope out there. Have a great Saturday evening. Okay, we've got plenty of the stuff up there for Sunday. It's a lot lighter content. It's mostly pop culture stuff, and if you're down with that, that's terrific. And if not, we'll be back with the insanity on Monday, and just take a break, take an assessment, and take stock of the trajectory of your life, because it's dark right now. It seems dark, but we'll pull through. There's more of us than there are of them. Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.